Hello, friends, and welcome back to 5 Minutes of Authenticity with Pritha. This is November, and as you know, I like to pick a theme every month, and this month we are looking at the anatomy of gratitude. Last week, we spoke a little bit about noticing, and I hope you guys noticed the little things that are sustaining you, and you took a minute to feel grateful for them. Today, we talk about something a little more macro in perspective because we are looking at gratitude as resistance. By that, what I mean is, think about the culture we live in today, in any part of the world, right? We live in a world that tells us we are not enough. Whatever we do, we need to do more. Whatever we have, the commercial environment, the sociological, the social, pick anything, any part of the world, there is always this culture of scarcity. It's almost like we need to do more, we need to be more, and we also need more. What does gratitude do in such a culture, especially as we are closing up this year? Gratitude interrupts that narrative. It interrupts that constancy of a want and it says, I have enough and I am enough. I often will pick my coffee up at Starbucks, and sometimes in the middle of a very busy day, one of the baristas will write a note on my cup, and despite so many orders, despite everything that she's doing, she'll write that little note and say thank you, or she'll say, Pritha, you're beautiful, or she will have something really kind to say to my daughter. And that just blows my mind. She is in the middle of constant chaos in her day, right? And yet she takes the time to make that tiny bit of effort to pause for a second. And I'm sure she does it for other customers or clients as well. And I find that so inspiring. How often do we take the time to just thank someone for the ordinary? I'm not giving her a tip. I just come, I put my order in. Of course, we talk a little bit and I leave, but yet she takes that time. So that note to me is such an act of rebellion. It's a beautiful kind of rebellion where in a world of rush and transaction, she chooses to appreciate, right? So what happens typically is that it's called hedonic adaptation bias. It's a psychological term. But what happens is we quickly normalize what we longed for. So whatever we didn't have, the moment we have it, we take it for granted. And then we move on to the next thing. And so what gratitude does, it slows the process. It allows us to appreciate what we have received and stay awake with our blessings, in our blessings, right? So when intrinsic motivation is the motivation that drives us from within, is that it is when we start to act from our set of values and not from validation. So say you love gardening and you love to plant flowers, and you do that because it makes you happy. And you don't do it because the person passing by is going to look at your beautiful pots and say, oh my goodness, so-and-so is such a great gardener. No, you do it because it brings you closer to who you are. And it also gives you a sense of validation that, I get so much joy. And I'm so happy for this opportunity where I can do this for myself, for something that I feel good about. Right? So today I invite you to rebel. I invite you to make a statement, not with so much of making a huge noise, but also with noticing and being grateful in a world that has pushed us into speed. Where can you choose gratitude over grasping? Where can you pause and tell yourself, you know what? I know this is coming my way, but oh my goodness, I am so blessed. I am so thankful. Trust me, that kind of thankfulness can be fierce, and it will remind you of your wholeness, of your completeness, and how you stand out as somebody who knows and believes that they are enough. What they have is enough. This is particularly such a beautiful thought, especially as the holiday seasons approach and we start to look at gifts that we receive and give. And then we think back, we pause a little bit and think about gratitude and the whole perspective of what we look at, what we give and what we receive. It changes. Watch yourself, observe yourself. And I hope you have a beautiful week of rebellion ahead. Until next time, this is Preetha, signing off for now. Thank you.